Here we present the normal tools required for installing a flexor door. Note the ropes. In addition to the tools above, there are installation aids in the form of left and right-hand curtain guide tools, as seen at top right. Before starting installation, check the opening width to the actual curtain width. Note the daylight opening is 3 meters with the actual curtain 50 millimeters wider. Curtain width equals opening width plus 50 millimeters. In this installation, we'll match the door height with the opening height by positioning the top of the vertical brackets 45 millimeters above the lintel. Mark the position of vertical bracket 53 millimeters in from the jamb. We use the spirit level to ensure the vertical bracket is plumb. We now mark out the mounting holes for the vertical bracket. Now drill the mounting holes. We now fix the first screw using the spirit level as a guide to ensure the bracket is square. We now need to position and fix the left-hand side vertical bracket. The distance between brackets is actual curtain width plus 58 millimeters. After fixing both left-hand and right-hand vertical brackets, double-check dimension over the brackets. We now have completed mounting the vertical brackets. Now mount the right-hand side plastic curve with 2 square neck screws as shown here. Note the orientation of the plastic curve. The long tongue is vertical and the shorter tongue is horizontal. We now show the orientation of the horizontal bracket with the leg outwards relative to the opening. We now fix with square neck screws. One initially through the vertical bracket and another securing the plastic curve using the second hole towards the opening as shown. We need to support the end of the horizontal track using a rope. Bring the loop down level with the bracket at the front of the door. And that will ensure that the horizontal track is approximately level. We need to temporarily remove the 4 screws shown, as these screws will be used to fix the horizontal track to the bracket later. Thread the end of the horizontal track through the rope loop as demonstrated. We now locate the tongue of the curve into the horizontal track and secure it with square neck screws and nuts. Using the 4 screws we removed from the horizontal track earlier, we now fix the horizontal track to the horizontal bracket. Be careful not to strip the thread in the plastic runner when tightening. Fix the track 3/4 of the distance back from the opening using perforated angle. Repeat the same assembly on the opposite side. Assemble the horizontal track spacer by firstly cutting the brace to length. Actual curtain width minus 65 millimeters approximately. Then drill 2 holes, one on each end, to fix the bracket using the bracket as a guide. Now assemble the brace system as shown. The overall dimension of this assembly should be actual curtain width minus 50 millimeters. We now need to space the horizontal tracks to the correct dimension to ensure they're parallel. Now, drill the mounting holes. There is enough flexibility in the horizontal tracks. as they've not been firmly fixed at this stage to actually support one end of the track while you fix the other. Once you've fixed these two screws, you can go back to the other side and do the same thing. It is critical to get the dimension right over those brackets on that spacer. Knowing that these tracks are close to parallel, we have to make sure they're square to the opening. We do so by checking the diagonals. Measure from the spring anchor bracket to the end of the track on the opposite side, and note the measurement. Repeat for the other side using the same reference points. These two measurements need to be equal, so adjust the tracks until this is the case. Now, to secure the tracks laterally, we need to put in this brace as shown as per standard procedure. We have the horizontal tracks set up. We're now ready to engage our curtain guide tool in the form of this A3 track, which has been modified as a useful tool to insert the curtain into the tracks. Put the first guide lug into the curtain guide tool as shown. This position will be maintained for the normal guide later. Now secure the plastic curve with the square neck screws and nuts. Tighten all screws up except the two bottommost fasteners, which would be tightened later. Use a soft rope or equivalent so as not to mark the curtain. You can utilize the washer and coach bolt to secure the rope at one end. You can loop over the top of the bracket, down and back up again as shown. Approximate length of the rope from bottom of the loop up to the horizontal track is around 950 millimeters. Tie off the end with the knot as shown. Undoing the screw at the spring anchor bracket enables us to loop the rope over the screw, allowing the rope to hang further inboard, which is important to clear the nylon felt on the door for the